testing.
Okay.
Sorry, did I miss a bump? Oh, that's disappointing.
Well, would you thought somebody else?
I wanted her on.
Terry.
Yeah, I watch her reality show.
Yeah, she just send out a text every time that somebody don't do what she wants them to do. She's
Well,
a big,
so she posted online that we're passing flock to people that's already been introduced. So I think
That's what
part
Terry
of-
did?
That's part of this confusion. So
CP, I got some miscellaneous, but I would definitely stay within the 4 minutes. I ain't trying to keep us here all night.
you good.
All right.
You good. Thanks, Chris.
They said, are they coming up first so they can get out of here? Or you go do the public speaking?
Doing Martin reports.
Huh?
I'm doing Martin reports.
Marty Boys and stuff, doing them first? Yeah, because they're like, man, please. The wife said, please.
Who said that?
The wife.
Your wife is it?
Congress National Women, they want to honor her today. Because they couldn't sell their tickets. But they on the schedule, man. They're on the schedule. And it's somebody else. Damn, there's another group right now. Child something.
Man, you know this. We gonna be here all day. I'm tired. I don't care no more. I swear to
I
God,
forgot,
man.
I
I'm
forgot
done.
their resolutions.
So public comments for the kids only? Before public
We're
comments?
gonna do anybody presentation.
It's almost over.
Yeah, thanks, Inez. Madam Clerk Britt, let me know when I got the roll. Will everyone please come to the well so we can start the meeting? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Griffin,
Here.
Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson, Jones, Casey, Polensik, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Starr. You have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you. Will everyone please rise for a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America,
to
the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I make the following statement. This meeting of Cleveland City Council is a lawful meeting. Under Section 605.04 of the Codified Ordinances, no person with purpose to prevent or disrupt a lawful meeting shall do any act which obstructs or interferes with the due conduct of such meeting. Members of the public are invited to speak only under the rules set by this council. Disruptions, including but not limited to speaking out of turn and making loud noises and loud utterances, are in violation of the rules and interfere with the due conduct of this lawful meeting. Such disruptions may constitute a misdemeanor and a violation of Section 605.04. Anyone who disrupts this lawful meeting in violation of the codified ordinances commits misdemeanors and is subject to prosecution. The following is the first and only warning. If this meeting is disrupted, I will gavel a halt to the proceedings and direct the assembled officers to escort any person participating in the disruption out of the chamber. Once persons participating in the disruption are outside of the chambers, the officers will close the doors, and the disruptors will be handled as directed by the Director of Public Safety. The council proceedings will not begin again until those that participated in the disruption have left the chamber and the chamber doors are closed. Disruptors will not be allowed back in the chamber after the meeting resumes. Again, this is the first and only warning. Madam Clerk, dispense with the journal.
By Councilmember Polensek, that the reading of the minutes of the last meeting be dispensed with the journal approved, seconded by Councilmember Harsh.
Thank you. We're going to move to presentations. We have children from St. Martin de Porres, and we also have some residents that are here. I usually like to make sure that the young people get a chance to get presented first so that we could make sure that they get home in a timely manner. So could we open up the chambers and have the children from Martin de Porres join me at our right?
Good evening. Good evening. I thought I was here by myself. I mean, and at that table all morning. Okay. One of the things we do have in City Council is an opportunity for our young people to actually gain experience while being students. So if you're not familiar with the program we have as a work study, opportunities where students from St. Martin de Porres once a week, they go to actual jobs and learn about that as opposed to going to school, and they gain credit at their school. So we have an honor for us to be able to have our young people who are from our city, from each one of our wards, as you stand here, and they actually have participated in a program where they actually learn how to do different office work, how they work in the legislative body branch of government, how they assist on the different initiatives with each of our offices, but also making sure they support all of council members and learn the actual functions of the city hall and how things work. So we do have some scrolls as well as certificates of appreciation for each one of our members. I know it's late, but I wanted to make sure we do talk about this program because one of the things we have a designated staff, Ms. Latrice Poole Miller, who is doing a phenomenal job with this program. Give it up for her. So one of the things she do is manage them, supervise them, mentor them, give them more love, support, the whole initiative that it takes for the kids to have. So one of the things she has on there is, from the scrolls, it says, the Council of City of Cleveland, and it say each kid's name, your dedicated service, leadership, professionalism, and commitment as a corporate work-study student with the Office of Cleveland City Council during the 2025-2026 school year. Your hard work, positive attitude, and dedication to serving the community have made a meaningful impact. The members of Cleveland City Council further commend your accomplishments and wish you continued success in all your future endeavors. Congratulations for working here. And Miss Poole Miller, how many years we got by now with this program?
For me, it's been 18.
It's been 18 years. So to give it a round of applause, how many of your kids have been doing this work with us? And then before I pass it over to my colleagues, we definitely have a special presentation for a young man who's been in our program for over 3 years. So one of the things we want to do is, not only did he become a corporate work study student, he also came back and back and back. So guess what? That's consistency. Give a round of applause. So what that means is, so what we did was we got a plaque designed for him just because we want to make sure when you can stick to something and go over it back-to-back years and do it for 3 years, it's only right that we create an opportunity to present a corporate work study student presented to Jermaine Robinson in recognition of your dedicated service, leadership, and commitment to 3 years of service as a corporate work study student with the Office of Cleveland City Council. So I will turn it over to my colleagues for any words or anything my colleagues have. I know Councilwoman Alice Jones has some different words to say, as well as anyone else.
And Jermaine has graduated. He's our graduating senior. Congratulations. The one thing you know is that we have the administrators here from St. Martin de Porres School, and one of the things is each year they select an organization to be selected as, the Corporate Work Study Partner of the Year. And this year, Cleveland City Council was recognized as the Corporate Work Study Partner of the Year. And this really is based on the feedback and the experience of our young people. And so I don't know if anybody would like to, any of our young people would like to come and say something. Who wants to come and share a little bit about your experience? Now, you ready? Okay, come on.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kira Beavers, and I am now a senior at St. Martin Forest High School. I just wanted to thank you all for welcoming me here. It has truly been a privilege to be a part of Cleveland City Council. This experience has taught me so much and helped me grow both personally and professionally. I have learned valuable skills in communication, teamwork, responsibility, and leadership. And I've gained a better understanding of the importance of serving the community. I am grateful for this opportunity and everything I've learned during my time here.
No, they said they'll be shy.
And then I must not remiss, each one of them have a special message from Ms. Latrice Poole Miller. Like I said, leadership and mentorship goes more than just coming to work. What I mean by that is she attends their award ceremonies. She gives them advice when they're dealing with stuff outside of City Hall. She has become like a big mentor. I don't want to say auntie, but just there for them in every different way. She oftentimes reach out to our office to see if there's ways that they can help support us with different initiatives. And without any time, without wasted, the young people always offer and say yes. So Ms. Poole Miller, you're doing an excellent job. You are amazing. And I definitely need you to say something about your babies.
Hello, everyone. So yes, for 18 years, I've been a part of this program. I've been a part of this program for 18 years. I am a mom of 7, grandmother of 11. So you can you could times that times 4 times 18, because these are not only corporate work study children, they are a part of my life. I love them with everything in me. I go the extra mile for them. I'm a part of their families. It goes further than just corporate work study. So yes, out of 18 years, this year, these 4 students were awarded Job Team of the Year at Cleveland City Council. So. I love y'all, and I see y'all in September.
We have one more presentation. I'm going to ask if Councilman Kevin Conwell can come up, and actually if we could open up the well for the Negro Congress of National Council of Negro Women. National Congress of Negro Women. Been a long day.
I have my grandbaby with me. When he saw me, he jumped in my arms. And everyone, his name is Jackie Robinson. So we're going to teach him how to play baseball when he get older. We get him in there. And so, I'm going to give, who's going to be the mic? But I'm talking with them right now. Yeah.
And my daily dad.
You say my daily dad. So with the group, Monica, I'm going to yield to you so that we'll get moving forward with the presentation, okay? And you know what? Where's Stephanie House Jones at and Deborah Gray? And we'll bring up Santana also, because it's about women. Deborah Gray, I need you, Councilwoman, and Councilwoman Stephanie House Jones. Can't leave that Jones off, you know. Can't leave that Jones off. Oh, yeah, Nikki. Sorry, Nikki. You was in the back. You was in the cut. Okay, then I'll yield when all the women come up, and I'll get in the back. Come on, Jackie. Let's get in the back, man.
Okay.
You got sucker all on my head.
Hello, I'm not Jackie.
Good evening, Council President Blaine Griffin, honorable members of City Council, distinguished guests, and members of the community. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to be here today. We are gathered here to recognize an individual whose dedication, leadership, and service have made a meaningful impact on our community. Through her commitment and tireless efforts, she has helped to improve the lives of countless residents and exemplify the spirit of public service. She championed and started the conversation to construct a new $27 million Hitchcock for Women treatment facility on the east side of Cleveland. She is also responsible for transformational economic development projects in the northeast neighborhoods of Cleveland. It is our honor. My name is Monica McClellan. I am the president of the Cleveland section of National Council of Negro Women, and it is the Cleveland section's honor and privilege to present this recognition, which is the 2026 Bold, Brilliant, and Black Recognition Award to Cuyahoga County Councilwoman Yvonne M. Conwell, in appreciation of her outstanding contributions and unwavering commitment to our community.
Councilwoman, you have anything to say, or anyone from your group?
Good evening, everyone. I am humbled and honored that the National Council of Negro Women, Cleveland section, thought of me to recognize me for my leadership from the county perspective. But let me tell you, one person cannot do any project alone. I'm standing here in the chambers for Blaine Griffin, the mayor of City Council, Councilman Kevin Conwell, and all the City of Cleveland colleagues that helped the county put this project together. So it's not just about me. You got a lot of unsung heroes into that facility that's on Ansel Road. It provides, it was 28 billion, it kept going up. 28 million, I'm used to billions over there, sorry. It kept going up during COVID. The project just kept, steel was going up, everything was going up. But the main focus is that it's a drug and alcohol treatment facility for women and children. And those children can be with their parent when they're going through that terrible time in their life where they're trying to heal. And so the Hitchcock Center for Women and Children, my colleague that helped with that is Stephanie House Jones. I would love her to say something. We stood at the ribbon cutting together, and I do believe it has not even been a year yet. So it is, it's a beautiful facility. Please go out and check it out. It's across the street from a brand new school, Wilson School. So it's on a bus route. So it has all the resources that those women that are in that treatment facility need. And we expanded, because with Hitchcock Center for Women expanded to have housing. So once they're done with treatment, they can go right into a 2-year housing facility. So we're stabilizing them in the community. It's awesome. And so I'm going to ask my colleague, Stephanie House Jones, to say a few words as well. Come on. Thank you.
They do great work. Continue to support things, but congratulations, Councilwoman. Congratulations.
And just a few more words about the National Council of Negro Women and all that they do to empower African American families and to advocate and to lead. And so they're known for the great, outstanding work that they do in our community as well. So it's not all about me. Thank you. I'm grateful. Let the healing begin for the women at the Hitchcock Center for Women. Thank you.
People. Don't worry, I'm my turn. Hello, I'm Jackie.
Resolution. The Black Child Development Institute of Ohio. Can you guys come up, Gloria? I went to their, matter of fact, they meet in your ward, Council President Blaine Griffin, and they fight for legislation citywide, statewide, and federal. And they meet with the state representatives and state legislators on policy. And while they make it up here.
Yeah, see if all the city
Council President, can you come down? Let me see who else is there. And House Jones and Santana and the rest of the other sisters and Nikki, the rest of you guys. So we're honoring you today on behalf of Cleveland City Council. The members of Cleveland City Council take great pride in recognizing the Black Child Development Institute of Ohio, whose steadfast commitment to helping children, families, and communities has inspired meaningful change and created opportunities for countless Ohioans to thrive. Since your establishment in 2017 as the Ohio affiliated of the National Black Child Development Institute of Ohio, has served as a powerful advocate for children, family, working diligently to improve the quality of life through education, advocacy, and community engagement. And it goes on and on and on and on as the beat goes on. So I want to give this to you, Gloria, and your group, and you guys can say a few words.
I'm a little short.
You want me to bring it down a little bit?
Thank you.
There you are.
Thank you. So it's an honor to receive this recognition today. Thank you.
Do what you do.
And I want to thank Councilman Conwell and Cleveland City Council. BCDI Ohio is the only organization nationally that exclusively advocates on the behalf of Black and brown children. The national organization has been around since 1970, and I always say that we are a neutral platform to bring legislators, policymakers, but most importantly, amplify the voices of our caregivers in our communities to ensure that systems and programs are reflective for those it's intended to serve. So I encourage you to look up BCDI Ohio, our national organization, because every voice is needed at the table. Thank you.
Anyone else? You can go ahead. Thank you very much. We will, yeah, with the picture real quick. Louis? You know what? One more picture. See you guys later. Thank you. God bless.
All right. Thank you to all of the honorees. We'll now move back to public comment. First up for public comment. And once again, please acknowledge your time. Once you see the yellow, that means to wrap up. Once you see the red, that means that you need to abruptly stop. First, we have Eric Walker. Eric Walker is from Ward 1. His topic is Robert Fulton, and he is not representing anyone and not being paid by anyone. Mr. Walker, you have the floor.
Good evening, City Council. Good evening. My name is Eric Walker. I am a citizen of Ward 1, and I'm here to talk about Robert Fulton. Mr. President, you gave a speech when you were reelected as City Council President, and there are a number of things that you said that caught my ear when you gave your speech. One thing that you said, and you urged your colleagues, was to not bring problems without a solution. You went on to say on January 5th, 2026, let's shed light on some of the most complex and vexing problems here in Cleveland and find solutions. And you went on to say in your speech, history has an eye on us. Today, I'm bringing an issue that has been in my community, Robert Fulton, the abandoned Robert Fulton, for more than 20 years. The building is literally imploding. The roof of the building is imploding. There has now been a fence that's been around the building, but that's not going to stop the degradation that continues to go on in this building. Something has to be done about it. And it's up to you all, the City Council, along with the administration, to solve this problem. I have a solution to it, so I'm bringing a solution to you guys to do it. Raise the building. It's time. It's time to raise the building. Raise the building, knock it down. From that, if you knock the building down, you can leave it as a green space. Leave the building as a green space, but raise the building. 2, raise the building and create a playground. When I ran for city council in 2020, and I knocked on doors, one of the things that the residents said is, we need a playground here in this community. Create a playground. 3, you don't want to do that? There's legislation, or there's something on the Ohio Housing Finance Agency to build affordable housing in our community. But this cannot go on unattended anymore. You cannot ignore our community anymore in this situation. It needs attention. So from the administration, to you, City Council President, to the Ward 1 Councilman, Joe Jones, I sent you all an email this past winter, with pictures of the building imploding and the windows are popping out. We need your attention.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Daryl Houston. Daryl Houston is from Bedford Heights. He's here to talk about city issues. He's not representing anyone and not being paid by anyone. Mr. Houston, you have the floor.
You know, good evening, everybody. Is it on? Because I can't hear myself, sir. Is it on?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Every time I come down here with something on my mind, but every time I get down here, it's always something else going on that attracts my attention as well. So the first thing I want to state is that, you know, I point out some things to you, City Council President, was in your ward a couple weeks ago, only for me to ride through the ward just yesterday, see the same trash and the same situation. So I'm kind of questioning your leadership at this point as far as being concerned with what's going on in the real city, real issues, right? So I'm gonna turn the page on that because I'll see y'all probably September, October. I think some people will be ready to sign some petitions by then, by what we receive services with the city of Cleveland, right? So I'm gonna move on to the law department. The law department seems to be out of whack, right? And it's time to hold you guys accountable over there because y'all been BSing, right? Y'all done cost a lot of taxpayer dollars, and you know it, okay? And I think it's time for y'all to exit, and I'll be open and honest with that, okay? It's that time. So I know by September, they'll probably be ready for the real recall because that recall was railroaded, and everybody in this room know it, okay? The gentleman called a recall, had nothing in place, right? I'm calling a recall, I have everything in place, but I realized that I wasn't a resident. Oh, and I will be moving back into the ward, and I do like your ward, Blaine, because I was born and raised over there. So I'm interested in seeing what your track record really is in public light, because you started in public relations, correct? And you can't help Angela Wilson them with doing nothing, and you know all the issues, right? So as a leader, I'm questioning you, as a leader, what are your real concerns with this community right now? Because we don't see it. And I'm starting to watch a lot of my city council members, there's good council members, get baited into y'all BS, right? And they tired too. It's 9 of them down here that I know tired. And I'm hoping over the summer that they reconsider their vote to have you up there, okay? Because that's my goal, is to remove you from that seat. That's my goal. That's my goal. And I believe it's coming too, because we're gonna make historical history when we get you out of there, okay, right? Because I think Santana would probably be a better person than you up there. And then when I said the October, the flock cameras, I was at your meeting, right, Bishop? And I asked you, Conwell, I asked you a direct question. Can anybody in this room tell me, do flock cameras stop crime? Okay? Y'all wasting money, man. $1 million on that, that's trash. That's trash. That's trash. Y'all know it. Okay? And I'm hoping that y'all, law department, that y'all know what white collar crime is. Because
Time, thank you, sir.
It's time for me to expose it.
Time, thank you.
Yeah, I know.
Next, we have St. James Singleton from Ward 9. The state about becoming the change that you want to see. He is not representing anyone and not being paid by anyone. Mr. St. James Singleton.
How y'all doing today? I shared a little bit about who I am, and I won't go through that special education, graduated high school without being in the read. All right, I shared a little bit about who I am, graduated high school without being in the read, special education, and all that. My thing now is 2002, I was arrested for conspiracy to sell drugs. No drugs was found, no weapons, but I was convicted and got 36 months. The best 36 months of my life, not because I enjoyed being in prison, because when I was there, I got my relationship with the Lord. Changed my whole life and my perspective. The reason I went is because I never had anybody tell me how amazing I am. I had to find out on my own, based off of who I was over the years, over what I've done. I was told that I was never going to be able to get it, but yet I never was told that I was talented, that my hands was talented. So while I was in prison, I got my relationship with God, and I asked him what was I created for. Got called into the ministry, never thinking that I'd be pastoring. How can somebody who was in special education become a pastor? So now I'm pastoring the church, but my heart is for people. And so I went to prison so anybody around me didn't have to go to prison. But then I came home and I learned how to do electrical, plumbing, drywall, framing, roofing, porches, pretty much do anything in the house. And I said, well, I'm going to be what I needed somebody to be for me in my community. And so I started a program for absolutely free. Anybody who wants their kids to come to the program and learn, I'll do that for free, because as a pastor, I don't want to have to preach another young man's funeral and look at another mother crying because when she yelled for help, nobody showed up. So for myself, I don't know about how you feel, but I will not sit around and do nothing while our neighborhoods get destroyed. I'll be the solution to it. And originally I came down here for help, but where I'm from, we don't beg for anything. We figure it out. And so what I did is I said, you know what? Because I asked him, he said, you don't have no financial assistance. I said, cool, I appreciate that, so now I need to know what I need to do. So I got about maybe 7 kids right now before the program starts. We have probably about 50, and we'll pay for it. We're gonna still have the program. I went to Sam Club, and I bought waters and juices and pops, and I got our kids out there at the corners selling juices, pops, because I'm teaching them we're not gonna beg for what we want. And then we started a car wash, so we can take care of whatever we need. So if there's a family in need, you got a team that you can't handle, I would love to be a mentor in this life. Y'all be blessed.
Thank you. Next we have Tyresha Thomas. Tyresha Thomas is from Ward 9 to talk about becoming the change you want to see. She is not representing anyone, not being paid by anyone. Ms. Thompson, you have the floor.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tyresha Thompson. I am St. James Assistant and Administrator in his church. I'm also a mother. I am a mother of 3 black boys. So you can imagine, I'm very hands-on with the Building Strong Individuals program. Outside of being a nurse, I spend pretty much all my other time up there helping him with his program. So he don't beg, but I'm gonna let y'all know we need some money. We need some help. So I'm letting y'all know that we got all these kids who very much need this program. It can be life-changing for them. With the neighborhood that I live in, kids are constantly in stuff. They don't have nothing to do with their time. They are losing their lives. So this program is very important. It's very important to have your children around a man of God. It is so monumental in the things that it changed in their lives. Not only is it teaching them leadership skills, but it's also teaching them how how to be in society, how to go out and get it, how to love each other, how to work together. So though he didn't come down here to beg, if y'all could find out a way to support the program, whether it be sending somebody our way to support us with fundraising. We do car washes, and the program is Monday through Thursday, because he failed to mention that. Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We feed the children. We figure it out. So any help that we could get, we would absolutely, absolutely appreciate it. And that's all the time I'm going to take. Y'all have a blessed evening.
Next, we have Adrian Freeman. Adrian Freeman is from Wards 8 and 1 to talk about data centers on Rockwell and Cleveland. And he represents Cleveland Ideals Diversified, and he is not being paid to comment. Mr. Freeman, you have the floor.
Yeah, good evening. I'm so glad I stayed all this time to be here to hear all this wonderful news. I mean, ma'am and St. James, your program, I've been by there. I can't even talk about what I want to talk about until I say, I heard you, I feel you, and I see you, brother. And we are going to do everything we can to support you. I'd like to talk about, we were out in Mount Pleasant with the mayor on 146th Street. He had all the department heads and stuff out there. I was pleased to see the Director Mary with the seniors out there, and I'm a senior, obviously. And people wonder, how do I get the memo all the time? It's God. He puts me on location. But about the data centers, we're going to go down the line. About the data centers, there is light at the end of the tunnel, no pun intended. Mayor Bibbs at the City Club Forum said data centers have no future in the city of Cleveland. That was great. So all that's said, bad or good about the mayor, we want to give him credit for that, as well as credit to Councilman Slife for his leadership and having the emergency moratorium in place. That being said, I have to mention Pope Leo XIV, the second, 267th Pope, just confessed that the Catholic Church is complicit in 400 years of slavery and condoning it. Interesting enough, Louisiana, the state that they used it in America to gut the Civil Rights Bill was from Louisiana. But by the grace of God, we all continue to keep our heads up and our nose to the grind to make and move this nation forward to a better and more inclusive nation. I could go on and on about the bad, the good, and the ugly. But let's come together and let's do like these youngsters. I mean, I'm just so thankful. And as always, I'll yield the seconds for you all to think about what I just said. God bless you and God keep you all.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Next, we have Walter Collins. Walter Collins is from Ward 5, talking about Cleveland becoming a veteran city and illegal dumping. He is not representing anyone, not being paid to comment. Mr. Collins.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll read from my notes. Again, my name is Walter Collins. I'm the veteran representative for Read All Green Partnership. I am also the co-founder with the City of Cleveland of the Cleveland Veterans Coalition. Some of you know me from the last 6 or 7 years of raising hell for veterans' rights. Those that don't know me, I'm an Army vet with 2 years Cold War combat, 4 years Vietnam combat, and recognized with 3 years of fighting in a tunnel as a tunnel rat. I've been honored as a Vet of the Year, and I'm also the recipient of the President Lifetime Achievement Award and Medal. I want to first say thanks to the council that helped us over the last 6 or 7 years trying to get veterans programs going. We have a super program right now. And in the process of that, we're trying to have our city identified and designated as a veterans city. We need your help on it. Secondly, I ask this council to represent your interests in the lakefront development. When Public Square was being designed, the first thing they did was set off a plot of land for the Soldiers and Sailors Monument. You have the responsibility of the next generation of monuments to honor our veterans. The Soldier and Sailor Monuments honor soldiers, sailors. It does not honor Air Force. It does not honor Space Force. I ask you to start the process. Let this, as I stand here now, let me say to you, start the process now with the DiGeronimo family and company that has that contract or interest to work on the lakefront development. We must have veterans representative on that, a monument, next generation, including all veterans in service. And finally, we have a campus on 78th and 79th off of Kinsman. I ask you, don't let that turn into a dump. The Opportunity Corridor, you built it, you ran it down the street. Now you have a building, the Cleveland Clinic is bought, but right there on our corner, you're turning a beautiful area that we walk, veterans try to walk through and meditate. You're turning it into a dump. And it's insulting for us, it's insulting for those that paid their life. I'm a Vietnam veteran. I represent 58,228 men and women that did not come home. You owe it to them to start
Thank you,
taking
Mr.
care of our
Collins.
veterans.
Thank you. Next, we have Tishi Gangoda from Ward 14 to talk about Flock. She is not representing anyone, not being paid by anyone.
Hello, City Council and everyone in this chamber here today. My name is Tishi, and I'm a registered nurse in trauma at Metro Health Hospital. I'm in no way representing or speaking on behalf of Metro, and all my views and opinions expressed here are mine and mine alone. As a resident of Ward 14, I'm here before City Council to express my deep concerns and frustration that the leadership of the City of Cleveland is considering extending a contract with Flock Safety. Flock surveillance is not a tool of ensuring community well-being or justice. It is an extension and overstep of the police state that already targets the most vulnerable of populations in Cleveland: poor, working-class people of color, queer and trans people, and immigrants. Over-surveilling the people of Cleveland does not ensure our safety. It only continues to sow community distrust and resentment against the City Council, especially after the potential conflict of interest with former Councilman Carrie McCormack. In whose best interest is it to continue to maintain a police state surveillance contract with a company that collects private citizen data to train its AI, allows access of video camera footage to ICE agents who terrorize our friends and neighbors and coworkers, our loved ones, not to mention the profit-seeking motives that underride the entirety of this contract? Flock is about privatizing the illusion of safety for profit, violating our rights to privacy, colluding with our current anti-immigrant, anti-trans, and anti-black federal government, and extending networks of cameras and automatic license plate readers that statistically have not resulted in lower crime rates or lessened gun violence. As a trauma nurse at Metro, I know this for a fact. I have a lot of thoughts on where this money allocated for this invasive and costly Flock contract could go instead. I take care of the poorest people of the city every day, working class people who are often at the mercy of the states with no jobs or family or community or real social safety nets. The people of Cleveland need good housing, affordable groceries and community gardens, healthcare providers that are from the neighborhoods they serve, free GED classes and job coaching. The money allocated for Flock could go towards community-driven efforts to reduce gun violence in our city, towards building more accessible and affordable third spaces for young people to engage in, to expand recreational services for all ages, for community health initiatives, art, music, culture, a better public school system, and a more expansive public transit system. I implore you, City Council and Mayor Bibb, to think critically about the material impacts of renewing the flock contract on everyday working people in Cleveland, and also of your own legacy as leadership of our beloved city. Do you really want to be known as a council that invests in further criminalizing the most vulnerable of populations, or do you want to be known for being creative?
Next, we have Matthew Straczynski. Matthew Straczynski is from Ward 2. He's here to talk about communications with the city. He is not representing anybody, and he's not being paid by anyone. Matthew, you have the floor.
Thank you. I'm here to talk about communication and public safety with the city of Cleveland. And most of the time I'm up here for public speaking, I do that. You can ask yourself this question: how many times have you drove on the freeway and somebody comes barreling by you, speeding, and you get off on the exit and you see them at the same exit at the same stoplight? Okay, they risked somebody's life, my life, everybody else's life, driving on that freeway so fast, we don't understand even what their hurry was. We may do it ourselves sometimes, okay? But they're endangering other people's lives, okay? That's a biggie. How many times have you seen them pass on the side of the road in the bike lane? Over on Harvard, I've experienced that quite a few times, endangering somebody else's life. It's a terrible thing, isn't it? Now you have Newburgh Heights, Ohio, who does their radar from the side of the road, I-77, okay? They make $4.5 million a year, which is good, isn't it? $4.5 million? Well, let me ask you this. Are they saving anybody's lives? They are saving a lot of people's lives, okay? And remember, they give you a buffer, 14 miles an hour. So speed limit is 60 miles an hour, and as long as you don't do 14 miles an hour above the speed limit, you won't get ticketed. I mean, that's a fair choice, isn't it? Maybe the city of Cleveland should consider doing something like this. We have no other solutions. Traffic cameras, I don't agree with. Speed cameras, we need to do something. It's getting out of hand. We know it's getting out of hand. We got to face the truth. So I'd like everyone here, council, with all due respect, council president, and the people here that are kind of adversaries of the city of Cleveland, but consider this with cameras. Okay, not all cameras are bad. Law enforcement, not all law enforcement are bad. There's very good law enforcement. Okay, I spent time in law enforcement myself. I was a very good corrections officer. I did very well for the county, for the sheriff's department. Never had a complaint because I treated people like they should have been treated. So next time you have a camera situation, please think about it, all right? Thank you.
Next, we have Matthew On. Matthew On is from Ward 5. He's here to talk about parking and other policy issues. He's not representing any organization not being paid by anyone. Mr. On, you have the floor.
Good evening, Council. Happy Pride Month. Matthew On, Ward 5. I gave parking comment at Thursday's committee meeting, so I'll just note again, most Pier City parking rates start at $2 an hour rather than $1. Also, while special event zones are supposed to start only 2 hours before special events, I was given a special event rate Friday at 4 p.m. Near my building, over 3 hours before 7:10, the time that the event was supposed to start. I thus hope that a publicly posted list of special event parking times, which I asked for on Thursday, might actually keep the mayor honest about sticking to the 2-hour time. I'll now speak on 4 other pieces of legislation. First, a reminder that that Flock as after-the-fact record is not crime prevention. Even if Flock is secure and ICE searches are a, quote, data fluke, as the city has claimed, the cameras don't do anything to prevent crime. By the way, that data fluke comes on the heels of a security snafu that led to thousands of Flock camera feeds just available on the internet pointed at playgrounds, schools, and more. How much money is the city prepared to lose on unsafe surveillance? Second, I'd like to oppose 691-2026, a $500,000 loan for a business named after Urban Meyer, who presumably has access to private financing, to open a second location of the restaurant where he notoriously tried to hit on a younger woman who was not his wife in 2021. Third, regarding Fire Station Purchase Ordinance 368-2026, I do want to note that the owners of the proposed fire station site, Shaker Madison, illegally used courts of law to try to intimidate a public commenter here after they exercised their First Amendment right in 2024. I've heard a lot of rhetoric from council about the desire not to be bullied, but Shaker Madison has already used this forum to bully those around them directly. If those owners cannot stomach a 78% return on investment, which I believe was where the cap was set at, there is no reason to leave eminent domain in the toolbox for a property owner who's already exploited council hospitality illegally. Fourth and finally, I urge council to treat Bibb's East Side TIF plans very carefully. Less restrictive zoning regulations can be good, but not when they benefit developers and displaced Clevelanders. LLCs already own a lot of the property in the TIF zone. I spot checked 2 areas in opposite corners of the new zone on map 2700, 94th to 95th between Ansel and Crawford, and 55th to 61st between Bonnet and St. Clair, excluding foreclosure and government ownership. 29% of the former were already owned by LLCs, 36% of the latter. Some of these illustrious LLCs in those neighborhoods are Anon LLCs, and, quote, I'll lose money on this LLC, which is the 5th LLC in the road own that property. I'll lose money is also, by the way, delinquent on its stormwater assessment. Deregulation of properties that are already owned by out-of-state investors is a recipe for predatory practices. Tax abatements have already led to a projected 50 million CMSD deficit in 3 years, even after this year's layoffs. I will note that CMSD's $600,000 a year Flock contract probably isn't helping either. $2.5 billion, or 1/8 of all of Cleveland's property value, is already tax abated. We must stop borrowing against our future, but even if council is not willing to agree with me on that, we should at least agree that LLCs such as I'll lose money on this LLC should not get the future that we're borrowing. Please ensure that protections are in place for residents and the rules written for them cannot be exploited by predatory investors. Thank you very much.
Last, we have Tyler McHale. Tyler McHale is from Fairfax. His topic that he would like to talk about is no data centers, and Tyler is with the Cleveland Liberation Center, and Tyler is not being paid to comment. Tyler, you have the floor.
Hi, I'm Tyler. I staff at a community center.
Excuse me, could you guys please put the signs down? That is not allowable in the city council chambers, and I'm asking you to put those down if you could. I'm going to ask one more time if you could put those down and represent the rules of this council. Once again, I'm asking everyone to put the signs down. That is part of the rules of council.
Our location next to Lake Erie is supposed
Hold on,
to make
excuse me,
Cleveland-
1 second, Ms. McHale. Could you guys put the signs down? I have repeatedly asked. If I have to ask one more time, I will instruct the officers to come and establish one more warning, but signs are not allowed in here. I'm going to ask the officers if you can issue one more warning that is not allowable in Cleveland City Council. All right, we will suspend public comment and we will go straight into the meeting. Public comment is officially suspended pending the things. Thank you, appreciate it. Appreciate it. If they would put the signs down so that if you would put the signs down so that this commenter can finish their comments, then I will allow her to finish. Okay, please proceed, ma'am, please proceed.
Hi, I'm Tyler. I staff at the Cleveland Liberation Center, and I'm here to talk about data centers. Our location next to Lake Erie is supposed to make Cleveland a climate haven, but we are supposed to be promised the certainty of clean, fresh water despite climate chaos happening all around the world. All of that is being jeopardized just so that a few people can profit off of our community and then move out when the market dries up. The construction of hyperscale data centers in and around Ohio threatens our futures. A single one of these centers can consume and contaminate up to 5 million gallons of fresh water every single day. They use this water to cool the centers that chug away at our energy grid, a grid that is already weak and sees multiple blackouts within a year. Their solution? More air pollution. Commonly built alongside these centers are generators that produce greenhouse gases to ease their energy pool. And I'll call BS on that too. Everyone here can attest to seeing their electricity bill surge in price over the last year. Everything is getting more expensive and our futures look uncertain. The projected job losses from data centers are exponentially worse than what these companies want you to believe. The temporary job creation for the construction of these centers pits blue-collar trades and other livelihoods against all job sectors. Where technology and automation arise, profit-seeking billionaires are incentivized to lay off workers just to make another dime off of our labor. They have already laid off over 100,000 workers in the tech sector this year alone. All of this to power a system that spies on us and trains to drop bombs on children across the world, bombs that explode here in Cleveland, where our needs are once again overlooked and excused. The developers for the Slavic Village Data Center tried to ram through plans with no community feedback. We mobilized to inform our neighbors that this project was being planned in their own backyards, which was commonly met with surprise and disgust. No one knew about it. We found it important to create our own town hall that actually allowed us to speak out for a future that we wanted to see. A future with clean air, water, and reasonable utility bills. A future that is built with us in mind. A future where we prioritize our needs rather than putting more money into the pockets of a few billionaires. The private ownership of data centers and AI promises job losses, massive water consumption, surging electricity prices, and boosted CO2 emissions. In short, profits for tech overlords and environmental destruction for us. We cannot survive if the mayor's office only listens to these developers. And I have to say, it's very disappointing that the resolution has no priority in this chamber when we are faced with the urgency of this moment. You meet next on July 15th. Is that responsible? While an important step, we cannot rely on just a one-year moratorium. We demand more. The people of Cleveland are here now speaking out, and we are saying no hyperscale data centers anywhere in our city. Will the council listen?
That concludes public comment. Madam Clerk, please share communications.
File number 735, 2026, from Larry Jones II, Commissioner of Information Technology and Services. Notification of utilization of cooperative purchasing agreement with Law and Order Technology for the purchase of equipment. File number 736, 2026, oath of office for Ann E. Nelson, Commissioner in Black Women and Girls, City of Cleveland. File number 737, 2026, oath of office for Eric Turk, Interim Commissioner of Division of Property Management, City of Cleveland. From the Ohio Division of Liquor Control, file number 738, 2026, regarding a transfer of license application at 3922 St. Clair Avenue, Ward 8. File number 739, 2026, regarding a temporary permit application at 10820 East Boulevard, Ward 9. File number 740, 2026, regarding a temporary permit application at 515 Erieside Avenue, Ward 7.
Are there any condolence resolutions?
Resolutions of condolence by Councilmember Jones for Gladys Hall, by Councilmember Griffin for Marvinus Benita Anderson, by Councilmember Conwell for Simi Marie Davis, by Councilmember Jones for Dr. Joan M. Baker, by Councilmember Griffin for Deacon William Harris, by Councilmember Griffin for George Washington Boyd Jr., by Councilmember Conwell for Najee Hardaway, by Councilmember Polensek for Randolph H. Daly.
I am going to ask if all council members can be added to the resolution for Najee Hardaway. I know a lot of people work closely with Najee as well as Najee's mom and dad. So I know Councilman Conwell expeditiously got one, but I know that Councilman Shaw went to the memorial and others. So I would ask if all council members could be added to the condolence resolution honoring Najee Hardaway.
So noted.
Thank you. Are there any other condolence resolutions? Councilman Conwell.
First one was for Gladys who?
Gladys Hall.
Is that the Gladys Hall that was over the Department of Human Services? Is that the Gladys Hall who was over Department of Human Services? Add me to Gladys Hall.
So
She's a
noted.
pillar in the community. Thank you very much.
Please add me as well, Councilwoman Brett. Clerk Brett. Are there any other condolences? Any other condolences? Will council members please rise for a moment of silence? Thank you. Are there any congratulatory resolutions?
Resolutions of congratulations by Councilmember Griffin for Joan Mazzolini, by Councilmember Polensek for Chris Dietz, by Councilmember Griffin for Dr. Roland V. Anglin on his retirement, by Councilmember Griffin for Dr. Ronnie A. Dunn, by Councilmember Griffin for William Bill Humphrey on his retirement. Resolutions of recognition by Councilmember Griffin for Orlando Watson, by Councilmember Griffin for Don Slocum, by Councilmember House Jones for Midi Amani Jordan, by Councilmember Griffin for Bishop Clifford L. Kimbrough, Jr.
Thank you. First reading, emergency ordinances referred for administrative review and committee review.
Ordinance 683, 2026 by Mayor Bibb, authorizing Director of Public Safety to enter into one or more contracts with Flock, DBA Flock Safety for the acquisition and/or renewal of the annual license and the professional services of maintenance for Flock Safety Automated License Plate Reader Solution for the Division of Police. Ordinance 684, 2026 by Councilmembers Polensek and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Safety to apply for and accept a grant from United States Department of Justice, Bureau of Justice Assistance for fiscal year 2025 Byrne Justice Assistance Grant, local solicitation, and authorizing one or more contracts with Cuyahoga County and the cities of Euclid, Parma, Cleveland Heights, East Cleveland, Maple Heights, and Garfield Heights. Ordinance 685, 2026 by Councilmembers Bishop and Griffin by departmental request to supplement the codified ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio by enacting new section 131.87 relating to loaned artwork public displays for exhibition in City Hall administered by the Department of Public Works. Ordinance 686, 2026 by Council Members Starr, Santana, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the mayor and the commissioner purchases and supplies to acquire and reconvey properties presently owned by East 9th Scarlet LLC and/or its designee for the purpose of entering into chain of title prior to the adoption of tax increment financing legislation authorized under Section 5709-41 of the revised code. Ordinance 688, 2026 by Council Members Casey, Hudson, Bishop, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing Director of Parks and Recreation to execute various deeds of easement, granting to the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District certain easement rights at or under several city-owned properties at Emory Park and Estabrook Park for the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District's Big Creek Storage Tunnel Project and declaring the easement rights not needed for the city's use. Ordinance 689, 2026 by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, authorizing Director of Finance to enter into one or more contracts with PFM Financial Advisors, LLC, for as-needed financial advisory and consulting services for the Department of Finance for a period of 1 year with 2 one-year options to renew, exercisable by the Director of Finance. Ordinance 691, 2026 by Council Members Starr, Santana, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing Director of Development to enter into a loan agreement with Saucy Pint House or its designee to provide economic development assistance to partially finance the purchase of kitchen equipment, a POS system, and IT AV system, costs associated with the Urban Myers Pint House project, and other associated costs necessary to redevelop the property. Ordinance 692, 2026, by council members Bishop and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing Director of Parks and Recreation to employ one or more professional consultants to provide climbing safety training and mentorship to support development for the Division of Urban Forestry, Department of Parks and Rec for a period of 1 year with 2 one-year options to renew, exercisable by the Director of Parks and Recreation. Ordinance 693, 2026, by council members Starr, Santana, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Development to enter into a tax increment financing with East 9th Scarlet or its designee to assist with financing the East 9th Scarlet project to be located at 2060 East 9th Street, to provide for payments to Cleveland Metropolitan School District, and to declare certain improvements to real property to be a public purpose. Ordinance 694, 2026, by council members Bishop and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Parks and Recreation to employ one or more tree brokers to provide wholesale tree supply services for the Division of Urban Forestry for a period of 2 years with 2 one-year options to renew, exercisable by the Director of Parks and Recreation. Ordinance 695, 2026, by council members House, Jones, Santana, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Development to enter into a tax increment financing agreement with RJL 2230 SA Holding or its designee to assist with financing the Helen Keller Cone project to be located at 2230 Superior Avenue, to provide for payments to the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, and to declare certain improvements to real property to be a public purpose. Ordinance 696, 2026, by council members House, Jones, Santana, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing Director of Development to enter into a tax increment financing agreement with 2202 Superior LLC or its designee to assist with the financing of Heller Keller Cone project to be located at 2202 Superior Avenue, to provide for payments to the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, and to declare certain improvements to real property to be a public purpose. Ordinance 698, 2026, by council members Polensek and Griffin by departmental request, to amend sections 405, 01, 03, 06, 08, 10, and 405, 11 of the codified ordinances, to supplement the codified ordinances by enacting new section 405, 14, and to repeal sections 405, 05, 09, 12, and 12, all relating to vehicle impoundment and towing operations administered by the Department of Public Safety. Ordinance 706, 2026, by council members Starr and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Human Resources to employ one or more professional consultants, software developers, or vendors to develop, implement, and to acquire software solutions or licenses necessary to develop and implement a lifestyle spending account program, the Department of Human Resources, for a period of 1 year with 2 one-year options to renew, exercisable by the Director of Human Resources. Ordinance 714, 2026, by council members Davis, Bishop, Santana, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Parks and Recreation to enter into a property adoption agreement with MMH Park LLC or its designee to improve and maintain Meet Me Here Park, a city park located on Huron Road across from Rocket Arena, and to allow and accept various donations from MMH Park LLC of improvements to the park as a gift to the city.
Thank you. First reading, emergency ordinances to be passed.
Ordinance 676, 2026, by Councilmembers Polensek and Griffin, to amend Section 2 of Ordinance 1092, 2025, relating to the agreement with Famicos Foundation for the Ward 10 Beautification and Litter Program as the ward existed December 10th, 2025. Ordinance 687, 2026, by Councilmembers Bishop and Griffin, by departmental request, to amend the title of Ordinance 1541, 2025, and supplement the ordinance by adding new sections 2, 3, 4, and 5, relating to an amendment to lease agreement CT 0103 NF 2015-052 with Flats East Management to establish fees and to authorize the use of boat docking reservation fees for the operation of the program. Ordinance 697, 2026, by Council Members Slife and Griffin, by departmental request, to amend Section 6 of Ordinance 989, 2022, relating to contracts to assist in the development of a continued marketing and advertising strategy at Cleveland Hopkins International Airport and Burke Lakefront Airport. Ordinance 699, 2026, by Councilmember Griffin, reappointing 2 citizen members to the North Coast Waterfront New Community Authority Board of Trustees. Ordinance 700, 2026, by Councilmember Griffin, authorizing the Director of Department of Community Development to enter into agreement with the Olivet Housing and Community Development Corporation for Children's Defense Fund Summer Educational Program, providing youth with civic learning and holistic reading enrichment programming through the use of Ward 6 casino revenue funds. Ordinance 701, 2026, by Councilmember Griffin, authorizing the Clerk of Council to enter into agreement with St. Martin de Porres High School to participate as a sponsor of students for work-study positions with Cleveland City Council. Ordinance 702, 2026, by Council Members Slife and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing the purchase by one or more contracts of 1 aircraft rescue and firefighting vehicle, including related equipment and training for the Division of Cleveland Hopkins International Airport Department of Port Control. Ordinance 703, 2026, by Councilmember Griffin, by departmental request, to amend sections 27 and 32 of Ordinance 194, 2021, relating to salaries for various classifications. Ordinance 704, 2026, by Councilmembers Griffin and Conwell, authorizing the Director of Department of Community Development to enter into agreement with University Circle for the Wade Oval Wednesdays project, providing opportunities fostering communities through music and cultural arts programming through the use of Wards 6 and 9 neighborhood equity funds. Ordinance 705, 2026, by Councilmember Gray, authorizing the Director of Department of Aging to enter into agreement with Slavic Village Development for senior lawn care programs, providing grass cutting and maintenance through the use of Ward 3 casino revenue funds. Ordinance 707, 2026, by Councilmember Starr, authorizing the Director of Finance to transfer neighborhood equity funds to Community Relations to support certain programs sponsored by Community Relations.
Read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Polensek, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage. Seconded by Councilmember Harsh.
Call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson, Jones, Casey, Polensek, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Starr. 15 yeas.
Call the roll on passage.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson, Jones, Casey, Polensek, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Starr. 15 yeas.
Thank you. First reading emergency resolutions referred for administrative review and committee review.
Resolution 708, 2026, by Council Members House Jones, Santana, and Griffin, by departmental request, appointing an assessment equalization board to hear objections to estimated assessments with respect to the creation of the Cleveland Superior Arts Improvement District in the city and the initial plan for public services for the district and declaring an emergency. Resolution 713, 2026 by council members Davis, Bishop, and Santana by departmental request, declaring the intent to vacate a portion of Carter Road. Resolution 733, 2026 by Councilmember Davis, supporting the West Creek Conservancy's Clean Ohio Green Space Fiscal Year 27 grant application for the Ohio Public Works Commission for the Irishtown Bend Restoration Phase 2 project.
First reading emergency resolutions to be adopted.
Resolution 709, 2026 by Councilmember Griffin, approving the appointment of Brandon Ngo to the Community Relations Board. Resolution 710, 2026 by Councilmember Griffin, approving the appointment of Jay Westbrook to the Community Relations Board. Resolution 711, 2026 by Councilmember Griffin, approving the appointment of Peter Witt to the Community Relations Board. Resolution 712, 2026 by Councilmember Griffin, approving the appointment of Reverend Anthony Small to the Community Relations Board. Resolution 715, 2026 by Councilmember Polensek, withdrawing objection to the transfer of ownership of a C1, C2, D6 liquor permit at 15521 St. Clair Avenue and repealing Resolution 1171, 2025, objecting to said permit. Resolution 734, 2026 by Councilmember Griffin, approving the appointment of Luz Payat to the Community Relations Board.
Thank you. Read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Polensek, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage, seconded by Councilmember Harsh.
Councilwoman House Jones.
Yes, Council President. This is a question to the council staff. For 709, 710, 711, 712, 734, why my name isn't put on there and yours is? As a chair of mayor's appointment, if that's the standard for Cleveland City Council.
So Councilwoman House Jones' name should be added on all of those. Anytime that is mayor's appointment, she should be on all of those.
Yes, okay.
Thank you for bringing that up, Councilwoman. Apologize for the oversight. Please proceed, Madam Clerk.
Oh.
Call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson Jones, Casey, Polensek, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Starr. 15 yeas.
Call the roll on adoption.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson Jones, Casey, Polensek, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Starr. 15 yeas.
Thank you. Second reading emergency ordinances to be passed.
Ordinance 1380, 2025 as amended by council members Griffin, Polensek, Conwell, and Starr to amend section 62107 of the codified ordinances as enacted relating to menacing of healthcare workers. Ordinance 366, 2026 by council members Slife and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Port Control to exercise the first option to renew a contract with Bauman Enterprises for the demolition of various buildings and structures, disposal of related debris and materials, restoration of sites, relocation of employees, tenants, and affected facilities, and construction of temporary relocation facilities for the Department of Port Control. Ordinance 368, 2026 as amended by council members Bishop, Santana, Polensek, Hudson, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the mayor and commissioner purchases and supplies to purchase property for the construction of the new Cleveland Division of Fire's Fire Station 23, located at 122 Madison Avenue for the Department of Public Safety. Ordinance 522, 2026 as amended by Councilmember Bishop to amend section 45301, 04, 453.01, 40304, and 06 of the codified ordinances relating to paid parking regulations. Ordinance 558, 2026 by council members Bishop, Santana, Starr, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the directors of Public Works, Development, and/or Parks and Recreation to enter into one or more agreements with the Board of Education of Cleveland Metropolitan School District for the exchange of lands for future redevelopment and the mutual benefit of parties, and authorizing Commissioner purchases and supplies to acquire and convey the properties. Ordinance 589, 2026 by council members Slife and Griffin by departmental request to amend Section 3 of Ordinance 884, 2023 relating to professional consultants to provide on-call planning services. Ordinance 593, 2026 by council members Polensek and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Safety to apply for and accept a grant from Cuyahoga County for fiscal year 25 Urban Area Security Initiative Grant. Ordinance 594, 2026 by council members Starr, Santana, and Griffin by departmental request, approving the addition of certain property located at 629 Euclid Avenue to Northeast Ohio Advanced Energy District, accepting and approving a petition and plan for a property owner in the district proposing a special energy improvement project, declaring it necessary to conduct the special energy improvement project, providing for the assessment of the cost of such special energy improvement project, authorizing the Director of Development to enter into an energy project cooperative agreement and a special assessment agreement to implement the project and declaring an emergency. Ordinance 597, 2026 by council members Slife and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Port Control to exercise the first option to renew a contract with SP Plus Corporation to provide maintenance, commercial operation, and management services for parking facilities at Cleveland Hopkins International Airport and Burke Lakefront Airport. Ordinance 603, 2026 by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Human Resources to employ one or more consultants or firms of consultants to provide professional services necessary to analyze healthcare providers' benefits and claims, and to evaluate proposals received for benefit management services for a period of 1 year with 3 one-year options to renew exercisable by the Director of Human Resources. Ordinance 605, 2026 as amended by council members Polensek and Griffin by departmental request to repeal all sections in Chapter 604 of the codified ordinances relating to dogs that pose a threat to public safety and enact new sections 604, 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, and 99 relating to nuisance, dangerous, and vicious dogs. Ordinance 609, 2026 by council members Santana and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of City Planning to exercise a second option to renew a contract with Stantec Consulting Services to provide professional services for on-call planning services. Ordinance 613, 2026 as amended by council members Polensek and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Safety to apply for and accept a grant from the Ohio Office of Criminal Justice Services for fiscal year 26 Violent Crime Reduction Grant Program. Ordinance 614, 2026 by council members Bishop, Starr, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Parks and Recreation to enter into one or more contracts with Case Western Reserve University to provide a youth summer sports, nutrition, health, and life skills development program for 2026 under the National Youth Sports Program supported by Case Western Reserve University. Ordinance 617, 2026 by council members Bishop, Starr, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Parks and Recreation to enter into an agreement with Neighborhood Leadership Institute to implement educational, recreational, and cultural programs in various school buildings and other facilities during evening hours, provide leadership training, and supervise the summer tennis program. Ordinance 618, 2026, by council members Bishop, Starr, and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Parks and Recreation to enter into a contract with Northeast Ohio Muni Football League to conduct a citywide youth football program. Ordinance 620, 2026, as amended, by council members Harsh, Santana, Casey, Slife, and Griffin, by departmental request, determining the method of making the public improvement of constructing solar power generation facilities, authorizing the Directors of Finance, Public Utilities, and/or Port Control as appropriate to enter into one or more contracts for the making of the improvement, authorizing other contracts with the purchase of items or other services not covered under a public improvement, and to accept gifts, grants, and other funding for the improvement. Ordinance 622, 2026, as amended, by council members House Jones, Santana, Starr, and Griffin, by departmental request, to authorize the Director of Building and Housing to waive construction permitting fees for new one-family to three-family residential construction in the newly defined Eastside TIF district, and to authorize a 50% reduction of construction permitting fees for the larger new multifamily or mixed-use residential construction in the same designated area. Ordinance 654, 2026, by Councilmember Griffin, authorizing the Clerk of Council to enter into an agreement with Civic Plus for a software solution to provide ADA-compliant, accessible documents on public-facing digital content for Cleveland City Council. Ordinance 656, 2026, by Councilmember Griffin, by departmental request, an emergency ordinance to make additional appropriations of $491,427 to the general fund. Ordinance 659, 2026, as amended, by Councilmember Griffin, by departmental request, to provide for the transfer and amendment of $465,000 within the general fund. Ordinance 661, 2026, by council members House Jones, Santana, and Griffin, by departmental request, to amend the title, the second and third whereas clauses, and sections 2 and 7 of Ordinance 1116, 2021, relating to the acquisition of the Martin Luther King Jr. High School and property located at 1651 East 71st Street, and the conveyance of the property to Structures Unlimited for future redevelopment. Ordinance 665, 2026, by council members House Jones, Santana, and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Development to enter into a grant agreement with Northern Ohio Recovery Association or its designee to provide economic development assistance to partially finance the construction of 2 duplicate buildings located at 5342 Stannard Avenue into recovery and permanent housing units. Ordinance 675, 2026, by council members House Jones, Santana, Starr, and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Development to enter into a grant agreement with Cuyahoga County Land Reutilization Corporation or its designee to provide funding for a neighborhood improvement neighborhood improvement program in the St. Clair Superior neighborhood for home repairs, new home construction, and new street level improvements in blocks surrounding new housing developments. Ordinance 681, 2026, by council members Davis, Santana, and Griffin, authorizing the Director of Community Development to enter into an amendment to the Housing Trust Fund loan for the acquisition and redevelopment of the Family Dollar retail store located at 1936 West 25th Street, to amend the subordination amount and to restructure the payment terms of the contract.
Say what? I got a couple of council members, Councilwoman House Jones and Councilwoman Deborah Gray.
Please mark me as a no at 1380-2025 and a no for 522-2026.
Duly noted. Councilwoman Deborah Gray.
Could you add me to 6/14/2026?
Please add Councilwoman Gray to 6/14/2026. Councilman Bishop.
Yeah, Mr. President, can you mark me a no on 561?
So noted.
Duly noted. Councilman Austin Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Madam Clerk, could you mark me as a no on 5/22/2026?
What was the number again?
5/22.
So noted.
Thank you. Councilman Shaw.
Thank you, Chair. Can you put me as a no for 1380 as well? Thank you.
So noted.
All right, is anybody else? Is that everybody? All right. Read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Polensek, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage. Seconded by Councilmember Harsh.
Call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson, Jones, Casey, Polensek, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Starr. 14 yeas.
Thank you. Call the roll on passage.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson, Jones, Casey, Polensek, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Starr. On 1380-2025, 12 yeas, 2 nays, 14 yeas on all others. Oh, I'm sorry, on resolution, these are all ordinances? On ordinance 659-2026, 13 yeas, 1 nay. On ordinance 675-2026, 13 yeas, 1 nay. Okay, on 5/22/2026, 12 yeas, 2 nays. On 5/61/2026, 13 yeas, 1 nay. On all others, 14 yeas.
Thank you. Second reading, ordinances to be passed.
Ordinance 561-2026 as amended by Council Members Davis, Santana, Polensek, Harsh, and Griffin, to supplement the codified ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio by enacting new sections 686B.01 through 686B.11 and 99 and 991 related to short-term rentals and by amending sections 193.010203 and 021 as amended by various ordinances relating to the transient occupancy tax and by amending section 337.02 related to one-family districts and repealing section 337.251 as amended related to limited lodging in residence districts. Ordinance 626-2026 as amended by Council Members House Jones and Santana by departmental request, changing the zoning districts of parcels of land south of St. Clair Avenue between East 55th and Ansel Road.
Thank you. Read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Polensek, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage. Seconded by Councilmember Harsh.
Call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson Jones, Casey, Polensek, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Starr. 15 yeas.
Call the roll on passage.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson, Jones, Casey, Polensik, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Starr. On 561-2026, 14 yeas, 1 nay. On all others, 14 yeas.
Thank you. Second reading, emergency resolutions to be adopted.
Resolution 554-2026 by council members Davis, Bishop.
Okay, hold on. I apologize. Councilwoman House Jones has something.
Yeah, I just want to say all 15 council members are here. Councilman Conwell is sitting over there.
Councilman Conwell, could you please sit in the well?
Yeah, he's been here the whole time in the well, so just FYI.
We have Councilman Conwell sitting in the well. We're almost there, everybody. We're close. We're close. We're close.
How would you? You didn't see him over there. Right.
All right, please proceed, Clerk Britt.
Resolution 554-2026 by council members Davis, Bishop, and Santana by departmental request, declaring the intent to vacate a portion of West 59th Place. Resolution 653-2026 by council members Slife, Bishop, Santana, and Griffin by departmental request, declaring the intent to vacate a portion of Forest Wood Avenue Southwest, Midvale Avenue Southwest, West 185th Street, and West 188th Street, and West 190th Street. Resolution 657-2026 by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request to adopt and declare a tax budget for the City of Cleveland for the year 2027 and submit it to the County Budget Commission as required by state law, Chapter 5705 of the Revised Code.
Thank you. Read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Polensik, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage, seconded by Councilmember Harsh.
Call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson Jones, Casey, Polensik, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Starr. 15 yeas.
Call the roll on adoption.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Davis, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Hudson Jones, Casey, Polensik, Santana, Shaw, Slife, Starr. 15 yeas.
Thank you. We'll move to introductions. I do see members of the SEIU. If Mr. Kareem Hinton and the members of SEIU could please stand. The members of SEIU. I know that many of you have received a letter from SEIU about their drive to organize at the Cleveland Rape Crisis Center. So I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge the members of SEIU. Let's give them a round of applause if we could. And I'm sure if Mr. Hinton wants to educate you on his issue, he can more than willing to reach out to any one of you to educate you guys on the issue that he's bringing forward, okay? Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Do we have any other introductions? Any other introductions? Seeing no other introduction, Councilman Christopher Harsh.
Thank you, Mr. President. While there is power in a union, you can only run for office one person at a time. Nicole Sigurdsson is our very capable candidate for State House. Which district? 19. State House District 19 should be on the ballot this fall if you live in State House District 19. So, candidate Nicole Sigurdsson.
Thank you.
And proud Ward 4 resident.
Nice to meet you. Thank you so much. Are there any other introductions? Any other introductions? Seeing no other introductions, are there any announcements? Any announcements? Councilman Austin Davis.
Happy Pride, everybody. That's some good news. Something else to think about other than this place. Saturday is Pride in the CLE. This is Pride Month. The LGBT Center is in my ward. Pride happens downtown, 11 a.m. It happens to be my councilmatic event. I'm really proud to make it such. Part of our budget this year involved getting 2 councilmatic events per member, and I'm grateful for that opportunity. So everyone go down to Pride, 11 a.m., get to the march, get some, some good food. Have fun. See you there.
Do we have any other introductions or any other announcements? We'll move to miscellaneous. I know I have Councilman Christopher Harsh on miscellaneous, and I believe Councilwoman Nikki Hudson. Okay, just Councilman Christopher Harsh. Councilman Harsh, you have.
Okay, I'll try to be brief. I know we all really want to go home. But today is the day that we finally are passing the short-term rental legislation that started 6 years ago. So I want to acknowledge Councilwoman Santana for getting that past the finish line. It was a long time coming. But I also want to acknowledge Councilwoman Gray, who's been working on this for a couple of years, Councilman McCormick and Councilman Hairston, who all worked on this effort. And probably some people before I even got here, there were as Councilman Davis, I'm sorry, I worked on this legislation. Anyway, I just want to say this about it really quick. I supported this and wanted to see it get passed because I want to see how well we can enforce it. I have some very deep concerns about our ability to do this effectively. And I consider this legislation to be very much a scalpel. We went in, we tried to carve out we tried to make room for a lot of different actors in the city of Cleveland, and we tried to have some really good enforcement mechanisms. And the question is going to be whether or not we can operationalize it. However, I would just like to plant a seed in everybody's mind that I think there is a much more simple way to address the scourge of short-term rentals, and that is through basic zoning. We are allowed to define use in the city of Cleveland. We're allowed to define commercial use. For instance, I cannot turn my house into a convenience store. I'm not allowed to do that. It would be against the law to turn my residential house into a commercial use convenience store. I can't turn it into a party center either. That would be illegal. Yet I could rent my house out to 40 people a month who treat it like a party center and get away with it because it's a residential house, which I think is just an absolute crime. If we were to declare short-term rentals to be commercial use, to declare the use of short-term rentals as commercial, then we could effectively restrict it in all residential zones. We could say that all short-term rental falls under commercial, and the difference between a house that is used for short-term rental and a house that is used for long-term rental is whether or not the house is used for residential or commercial use. If I'm a landlord and I rent my house out and my tenants move their stuff in and go down to the board of the Bureau of Motor Vehicles and put that address on their license and register to vote, they're living there. They are occupying that residence as their primary residence and where they live. That's a very different thing than if I just rent your house for a weekend and go throw a party. So we can clearly define the difference between residential use and commercial use. And the argument I always hear back against this is that you can't tell homeowners that one has a right that the other one doesn't. Which is kind of wild because we do that all day anyway. We tell people all the time that you can't turn your residential house into a convenience store. That's just that this is zoning and this is use. And frankly, other cities have already done this. This has already been done throughout the country. And the reason that it doesn't get more attention is it's usually done by small cities that don't have Airbnbs. They usually do it as a preemptive measure to keep the Airbnbs out. And they just haven't been challenged in court, but Columbus, long story. My point is this: if we can't rein in short-term rentals with this legislation that we passed today, then I will be pushing very hard to get everybody to consider just using zoning. It is beyond, there is no good use of a short-term rental in Old Brooklyn that makes anybody in my neighborhood happy, and those few people that have short-term rentals in their neighborhoods where they think they're doing good, we have variances and you can apply for one. Thank you, Mr. President. That's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman Harsh. Councilman Tanmay Shah.
Thank you, Chair. I just realized today I had some reflections. It's the 5-month mark, almost to the day of us being sworn in and the end of our first legislative session. I just wanted to express how I am grateful to my colleagues for their patience and their guidance in the last 5 months. This has been a unique job like no other, and I really appreciate everyone that has checked in on tough days and been willing to share their joyous moments in their wards. I also want to thank all the City Council staff who've done so many small things that make our everyday life possible, such as making sure there's a vegetarian option without me even thinking about it or asking for it. I really appreciate that. It is. Most of all, I also want to thank and recognize the workers of the Ward 12 office, Nico, Katie, Chris, Abby, and Keith here, of course. I couldn't do what I've been able to, just learn so far without their help and their presence. I really appreciate it. As we go into this summer break, I keep asking myself, what does it mean to be a leader? It's not because I think of myself as one, but it's because I want Cleveland City Council to be seen as such. I want Cleveland City Council to act as such. And I want Cleveland City Council to have that vision that leaders need to provide. Are we simply leaders because we won an election? What if it was by 9 votes? Does that make someone any less of a leader? Maybe. I don't know. But as I keep thinking this through, I feel like I'm in a toxic relationship with City Hall, where I think about what the potential of City Hall could be versus what it is right now that I engage in. And I keep coming back because I believe our potential is really big, and so is the potential for Cleveland. But it has to start with us, where we have to be on the same page, where we have to be willing to put forth a vision for the city of Cleveland, for the people of Cleveland, that's something they can believe in, and not just be a reactive body that's playing whack-a-mole with problems as they come up. I can only control what I can control, and so it starts with me. And I'm really excited and looking forward to this summer, where I'm hoping and committing myself to talking more with each council members, going to their wards, and understanding how they've been interacting and building up their community. Because it's really important that at some point we find those threads that bind us together and start working towards making those stronger. So with that, I yield. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Councilman Kevin Conwell.
You know, I want to thank you guys. I sent you a thank you by text. Every year, City Council donates at least $100,000. Matter of fact, Sherry, you were there. How many children were at MLK performing with the arts? About a good 50 to 60 children. And they were from all over the city of Cleveland. And their parents was with them also. You could see engaged parenting, father-child bonding, the whole 9 yards. And you guys donate money out of the budget so children throughout the city of Cleveland could take free art lessons. Isn't that right, Sherry? And their parents were coming up to me, telling me they were so happy. You know, my daughter, Sarah, or my son, Michael, when he comes home, guess what he does, Councilman? The first thing he ended up doing his homework. And after his homework, he plays his violin or the guitar, okay? And they performed for at least, what was it, about 2 hours or 3 hours? Yeah, everyone performed on their instruments, guitars. And some of them played 2 or 3 instruments, 2 or 3 instruments. And their parents were so, so happy that they were doing that. And their grades are going up because of you guys. You don't get a chance to see your work. You hear people beating you up on Monday nights sometime, but it's some work in legislation that you pass. And one of the kids' fathers came to me from Tremont, and as well as from Fleet, all around. And you put money into Rainey Institute of Music, Music School Settlement, Julio de Burgos, all these things that you guys are doing, and it's keeping children off of the streets. It's what you're doing in the arts, and it's benefiting them. A lot of times people come and they beat us up, the whole 9 yards, but there you end up getting an up-close view, and the parents were so happy. And in the end, the instruments that use and gently use instruments that we collect. And throughout the year, we collect over $100,000 worth of instruments, and we give the instruments to the children. And the kids were so happy. They were so happy. And we talked about Cleveland City Council. You mentioned Mayor Bibb to benefit these children. All kids can't play basketball or whatever the case may be, but we pushed that through, and the parents were very, very happy. And then I'm going to end this. I always tell this story. This man, council president, called me one day. He said, Councilman, Kev. I said, what's up, man? What's up? He said, you may not see this in your lifetime, but some of those kids gonna be like Stevie Wonder, whatever the case may be. I said, what you mean y'all might not see this Blaine Griffin in my lifetime? I know what you was talking about my age and when they grow up to become 30 or 40, whatever the case may be, and they're playing professional and they're taking care of their family and building up self-esteem. That's the beautiful things. So a lot of times, even when we push the football piece, you don't get a chance to see those things, and people really don't know. They don't know the work that we're doing and working with children. They don't know. But that piece right there, it touched me because I got a chance to see it. And I'm so happy, and thank you guys on behalf of the children and the city of Cleveland. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you. That concludes miscellaneous. Madam Clerk, please excuse the absences. There are no absences. This council is adjourned to the call of the chair.